Hello, everybody. Um, I have an update for you guys. And I'm happy to finally bring you guys an update about Flight One. Flight One, finally, we're getting an update. Well, I'm giving you guys an update on Flight One. What's going to be happening on Flight One? What is going to need to happen before Flight One launches? And I'm very excited to tell you all of that now. Um, so I have a lot of good news and a teensy tiny bit of bad news. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and start talking about this. So let's start off with the ship. Yeah, we're going to talk about Ship 4. First piece of good news. Ship 4 is basically ready. It's not quite ready, but it's basically ready. Um, Booster 4, not Booster 4, Ship 4, sorry, has everything installed. It has avionics installed. What it doesn't have installed is the parachute. I need to get that installed. Thank you to everyone who's reminding me, which nobody has reminded me. I don't know why I said that. I'm reminding myself that I need to get the parachute installed, and I need to figure out that system. So that will be in the works over the next couple of weeks. Um, Second piece of good news is things are going well. I'm going to start getting ready to start building another tower. I have to order some more filament, but I'm going to be building. So let me give you a little bit of backstory. So here's the original tower that I used to use in my old live streams or the Starship launches for Pad 1. The tower is not doing so good. It's not doing so hot. The one of the catch arms is broken because it fell. The tower itself is in not great condition. This part is a different color. The roof is all messed up. This thing has been through a lot, and I'm just gonna let it retire. I'm gonna be completely honest with that. I'm not gonna try and push this thing anymore. It has been through, respectfully, it's been through hell and back. So yeah, it's fallen apart. So this tower is retired. It is no longer going to be executing any sort of mission um, for XAerospace. So which is my sort of launch aerospace like amateur rocketry company sort of thing, if you want to call it that. Um, okay, let's get into the bad news. Um, for the bad news, I am going to grab my chair. So give me 2 seconds. Okay, so now for the bad news. Flight 1 will most likely have to be delayed, which I didn't want to have to delay Flight 1, but as of how things are going right now and how close June 13th is, I don't I don't know if we're going to be able to make it to June 13th. That's what I'm going to say. I think there's way too much still to get done and not a lot of time left. And I'll explain to you guys why I don't have not a lot of time left um, in a minute. But let's first of all talk about let's first of all talk about why I am predicting that the timeline is going to slip. So why? There's a couple of reasons. One, I still have to work on the tower. My design that I want to use is it's going to have the actual chopsticks. I'm probably going to use just basically that design. Like I'm probably just going to get the model off of Make a World and modify it. But I want the arms to be able to close around the ship and booster, the full stack until I'm ready to launch, and then maybe 2 seconds before launch, it'll send the command to open the chopstick arms so that it can go successfully. Same with the QD. I want to also have the QD swing out of the way. But that the pad, I don't really have any issues with the pad right now. Um, but yeah, so pad and tower are tiny little things. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, I sneezed and didn't want to get that on camera. Okay. Now for the larger part of the bad news is Booster 4. Booster 4 is okay. Booster 4 is still in two pieces because I haven't soldered on the engine section yet. But Booster 4 has a problem, which over the last couple of weeks, I have realized the fact that it is a problem. And I need to address it. So let me just tell you. Here's Booster 4, right here. It's beautiful. It hasn't done anything yet. You may notice it doesn't have its engine section. And that is because there is a problem with it. Here's the engine section. 4 engines. It used to be 2. I don't know where I put. Oh, booster 6 is there. So booster 6 is that section is there. So here's the problem. I can't do 4 motors. I can, but I can't. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. So when it comes to Estes, especially when it comes to Estes, lighting a motor cluster, especially of more than 2 motors, is very failure prone. Not in the sense of it's going to explode, not in the sense of it's going to crumple the vehicle, in the sense that 2 of them could not light and this thing could go careening into someone's face or chest, which I don't want. It probably wouldn't like impale someone. The ship is not that sharp, but it would definitely hurt if it hit you in the chest and hit you in the ribs at the speed that it would be going. It would probably break a rib and it would probably really hurt. So here's what I'm going to do, and here's my solution to this problem. Booster 4 will not be flying with 4 engines. I told you guys it'd be 2 engines, and then I told you it'd be 1, or then I told you it'd be 4, and now I'm saying it is going to have to be 1 engine. Now you may be asking me, well, you went from 2 to 4 because you had a TWR, which is thrust to weight ratio issue. Why are you going to 1 engine when you're not going to be able to have enough thrust with one of the F-15s to be able to lift this thing off? My response to that is I will no longer be using F-15s on the booster, at least, and for this vehicle. I may use them in the future with other vehicles, but on the booster, I will no longer be using F-15s. And here are the 3 reasons why. 3 reasons why. 1, the reliability issue with Estes motors clusters as a whole. If their launch controller that they provide me is not powerful enough to ignite all 4 of those motors at the exact same time, we could have a major issue. If you watch the Ship 1B 6-engine static fire attempt, and I did the 2 engines, and then I did later on in a second attempt 4 engines, and ignited the rest of the 4 engines, 2 ignited, and then 3, and then 4. It wasn't 2, 3, 4. It was 2, 3, 4. Or no, it was 2, 3, 4. So it was delayed. And that's what caused it to topple over. And something like that happening on the launch pad on launch day is not good. It really is not good. I don't have hold down clamps. As soon as the thrust to weight ratio is above 1, it is setting itself. Well, if it's 1, it's going to be like, whoa, and it's not going to work. But so here's what I'm going to do. Nope, I told you I had 3 reasons, so let me give you the rest of 3. Reason 2, they're very unpredictable with my experience. F-15, especially Estes motors, if you handle them wrong, put them in the wrong temperatures, drop them, God forbid, drop them, they will develop cracks. And if you have the recovery charge in it, they will most likely blow up, or KO, which is catastrophic, um, catastrophic anomaly at takeoff, I think is what KATO stands for. No, I'm sorry. It stands for catastrophe at takeoff, um, which is not what we want. I have experience with F-15s blowing up, especially in my face. Um, there's no doubt about that. If you watch back in February when I static fired Ship 2, or attempted to, um, the F-15 that I was using, I believe I had left it out in the cold for a little bit too long. And that in turn caused the motor to KATO and blow up. It wasn't really a KATO because it wasn't going to be launching, but we'll just call it a KATO, and yeah, we'll just call it an explosion. We'll call it an explosion. Um, or a RUD. We'll call it a RUD. I don't care. We're gonna figure it out. And then I static fired Ship 3. That worked fine. And then I came back 2 days later and tried to static fire the staging test article, and it didn't do too well. So yeah. Number 3, they are not powerful enough. And what I mean by that is, like, they physically, like, are not powerful enough. As I get into higher and higher model rocketry, the rockets I make are going to get heavier, and these F-15s are not always going to be able to supply that or suffice to that. So um, I have to switch because of that. So what fixes am I implementing? This this 3 engine section will be, or this 4 engine section will be converted into a 1 engine section, which I have to 3D print. So I'm going to need to get more filament for that. I will be switching to some sort of Aerotech motor. I know that it will most likely be an Aerotech. I don't know which Aerotech motor is yet. As soon as I'm done with this update, I'm going to hop on my computer over there, and I'm going to go search up some Aerotech motors that have higher amounts of thrust, because these 4 alone produce a little above, I believe, about 80 newtons of thrust, which is like 200, no, 2,400 grams of takeoff mass, which is not amazing. Now, if you've been following here on my X page, they, I'm getting a F51 NT-10. I will not be using that as the motor. It only has about 74 grams or 74 newtons worth of liftoff thrust. Well, not liftoff thrust, max thrust, which is one of those other things. Is it's not going to immediately peak at that. So I'm not going to be using those, especially not the reloadable ones for that. I'm going to buy probably like a G motor for that, or an F motor, depending on what I need, from Aerotech. And then I have to add fins, because that's part of NAR's, or the National Association of Rocketry. That's part of their safety code. If you do not have active stabilization, you have to have passive stabilization. I don't have active stabilization, so I'm going to have to just cut out some boards or pieces of acrylic board. I have a piece of clear acrylic board out in my garage that I'm going to be cutting up some fins tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah, tomorrow. It's not 12 o'clock yet. And then I may have to also do that with the Ship too. I'm not sure. I'll probably make them just in case I need them, and if I don't need them, then great. If I do need them, then great. I don't know. So, I also have to add a parachute. I have to work on that system. I'm probably just going to use an ejection charge from that G motor, whatever motor I decide to use for that. So I will still be using the F-15 most likely on ship. I just have to buy a new one to get the ejection charge because I need to get the ejection charge for that. I don't feel like switching out the motors last minute now for the ship. So I'm just gonna stick with the F-15. If it KOs in flight, then fuck it. Like honestly, we'll figure it out on flight too. So, um, and then I have to print a new PA6 hot staging dome. But as of right now, I don't have a hardened steel nozzle. I did, and then it got clogged, and I haven't been able to use it. So I've been using a stainless steel nozzle, which if you don't know about 3D printing, you can't use anything that has carbon fiber in it with a stainless steel nozzle. So it's just it wears. You can, but it wears down the nozzle way too much, and it's like it's not worth it. So um, so now you may be asking me, well, flight 2 is scheduled for June 13th, right? So it's to the 22nd of May, almost the 23rd of May. That's like 2 or 3 weeks worth of time that you still have. Why can't you get this done in 2 or 3 weeks? And to answer that question, I don't have 2 or 3 weeks. And you'd be like, what do you mean you don't have 2 or 3 weeks? So let me go over my schedule. I have 3 more days of school left. So I have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. I get out Thursday, so I'm off Friday. So the free time I have is tomorrow, which is Saturday, Sunday, Monday because of Memorial Day, if we're not doing a Memorial Day cookout, which it doesn't look like we are going to because it's kind of rainy. It's supposed to rain that day, which the weather could change, but whatever. Um, Friday, after I get out of school, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Um, Hold on, I'm not doing this right. Okay. So I already told you Saturday, Sunday, Monday of this weekend, so Memorial Day weekend. I get out on the 28th. I have the 29th, which is a Friday, um, Saturday the 30th, Sunday the 31st, and Monday the 1st. And the 11th and the 12th. And you're probably like, wait a minute, what about that 2nd to the 10th date? Where where's that time going? Well, let me tell you where that time is going. That time is going to Japan because if I haven't mentioned it before, over the summer, because of my engineering program at school, I'm going to Japan for about 9 days. And in those 9 days, I'm going to be out of the country and not able to do any work, obviously, considering the fact I won't be at home and I will be in a completely different country, on a completely different continent, on basically the other side of the world. So I will not be here. And you can see how that's a problem considering all of the stuff that I still have to get done. I have to, let me just give you a little bit of perspective of what I still have to do. I have to make a new engine mount for the booster to compensate for that new engine. I have to get said engine whenever I get it, and I don't know when that could get here whenever I order it. I have to figure out how to get the parachute to eject on the booster. I forgot to mention this too. I have to take this section here, the forward, the F2-4 or the F4, FX4 segment, and then the F2-4 segment, which is this barrel section here. And I have to basically take that and redesign a new one so that the entire hot stage, like the entire FX4 section comes off so it can deploy the parachute, which it'll be attached to the parachute. I also have to do that with a ship too. I have to buy a new F-15 motor, put that in the ship, fix the ship's thing with having to deploy the parachute, probably print a whole new goddamn nose cone. Because of that will be able to deploy the parachute. Finish avionics, double check avionics, test the igniters, I'm not going to do more static fires because there's no point. Work on the tower, get the tower avion or the tower electronics done, get the code fixed or get the code finished with ChatGPT because I don't actually code this stuff. Like, come on, let's be so for real. I have a lot of skills. One of my skills is not coding. I'm I'm sorry if I didn't clarify that earlier, but I don't actually code that stuff. I just ask ChatGPT. But the fact that it works. So whatever. Um, but yeah, and with all the stuff that I have to do, I most likely will not be able to get that done in 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks minus that time of all. Oh, and I still have to make the fins for the booster and ship. So with that being said, I probably won't have all that time to dedicate that to the flight vehicles. So um, I'm not going to confirm anything because something could get up my ass and just decide, you know what, we're going to get everything done and everything's going to work perfectly. And I'm going to get it done before I go to Japan. I don't know though. Um, but considering that chance is very low at this point, um, I will try my hardest. I will try and get everything done that I need to get done um, before all that. But consider the fact that I have to either order new filament or I have to go to Best Buy and go buy new filament, which at this point it'll most likely either be I order the filament off of Amazon because I'm not gonna wait for bamboo, um, or just go to my local Best Buy and go get some because I'm not waiting um to finish this. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to get that done in the couple days that I have left. So while it's not confirmed yet, flight one may have to get delayed till July. Now I have to look back at the Meadows, which is the launch site that I'm going to go see what opportunities they have in July, if they even have any opportunities in July. If they don't have any opportunities in July, I'm going to be like, go, 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 go. Like we need to get this done because if June is my only if they're doing contests and stuff in July and I can't launch in July because I'm not going to be part of a contest, then I have to go and I have to go fast because I'm not waiting all the way until August. So it's unfortunate. And I'm sorry that I'm kind of coming in late and I'm kind of giving this update in probably the worst possible time, but I have been really stressed with schoolwork. I am in the A's, B's, and C's right now. Mostly B's, couple A's, couple C's, which is not where I want to be right now with my aspiration to become a integrations engineer for Starship. Um, so I need to get my shit together. Um, and I have a lot to do, and I'm stressing to get it done. But I also am stressing to get everything done for school as well, because I have 3 days left. So I'm sorry if I haven't been focusing a lot on this, and I've kind of just been doing these like side projects, like Ship 1B and Booster 1B, which is currently sitting right in front of me, but I haven't started working on that yet. But yeah, I'm sorry that things are kind of going slow, and it seems like I haven't really been focusing because I really haven't. I've had other things that have demanded my attention, and I'm now just seeing the things that I want to get done, and it's like, oof. So, um, but with that being said, I do also want to kind of talk about some of the other things that I have planned. I know this is already a long video, and you're probably like, oh, this guy just keeps talking and talking. But if you want to stay, um, I will talk about, you know, all the things that I have planned for the summer. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So, Flight 2 will most likely not be this summer. If I'm being completely honest, it most likely will probably be in like maybe the fall, possibly, maybe. Um, because if you don't know this, I have an aspiration to get my junior L1 certification this summer with NAR, or the National Association of Rocketry. And I need to focus on that after Flight 1 because I really do want to get that done over the summer, which means I have to become a member with NAR. I have to start taking the course. In order to get all the information, I have to take the test. After I take the test and hopefully pass the test, I have to buy the motor that I'm going to use, which I believe is going to be an H195W or H195-14A. I don't remember exactly what that motor is called. Um, I was going to develop my own launch vehicle called Zoom, but as of right now, this could change. But as of right now, I'm going to not use that as or use my own design as my certification flight. I think I'm just going to use the Kronos pack of Apogee components because I want to get the certification and I want to make sure that I get it done right and I don't have any risk of this thing like not working. So um, that's most likely what's going to happen. So I'm going to be focusing on that and not really focusing on these other like little projects. But we'll see. We'll see how fast summer goes, and we'll see how timelines get um, stretched and pulled and turned and all whatever. Especially with Flight 13. If Flight 13 is gonna hopefully happen at the end of June, I already know that people are gonna be like, "Oh no, Flight 13 isn't happening at the end of June." A man can have dreams. Just let me have dreams. I want to see the flight in person, and I need it to happen over the summer if I'm gonna get it in person. That's not even to include all of the other stuff that I'm doing this summer because I have no clue what I'm doing this summer. Oh, like vacation wise, other than Japan, I don't know what my family has planned. So we'll see what happens on that front. So I mean, I may even have less time with that. But yeah, I'm sorry that things have been kind of slow and things are kind of. It seems like things are starting to pick up again, and but things are kind of slipping, and it's not really going the way as I expected. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, so this is kind of like the end of my update. Thank you guys for watching this update. I know it was long, it was almost half an hour. Well, it's probably going to be half an hour after this, but um, thank you guys so much for watching this update. I would like to shout out all of my model rocketry friends on X. Corca Ship 25 is the best. Starship Project, SER QI Circuit, I think is how you say it. I don't, you can correct me in the comments. I really don't know. Um, and everyone else, Vibe Chaser, like everyone else. I may not have, like, to a name named you. But thank you all so much for your help and your support and your guidance and your tips and your inspiration to doing this. Good luck with all of your future endeavors, and congratulations with all the successes you've already had. I'm excited to keep doing this. I don't think that this is mentally draining for me. Well, the ship 2 incident, that was mentally draining, but don't think that I'm not going to continue on this endeavor. I of course will, and I will of course try to do my best and try to make sure you guys get as much good content as possible. I'm very keen on like the visuals, like the videos and stuff, so you will definitely get those from me. Not the drone footage of Flight 1, unfortunately, because they do have a no drone policy, so kind of sucks, but you know, it's fine. Um, but yeah, so thank you everyone. This has been Matthew from Matthew the Rocket Nerd and XAerospace. Um, and I will see you guys most likely for the next update that I give out whenever more stuff happens. Um, and which will most probably maybe be next week or next weekend after I can get some of this stuff done. But I will keep you guys posted. I will keep you guys updated, and I will keep you guys online. So this has been Matthew from Matthew the Rocket Nerd and Exploration Aerospace, my personal model rocketry company, organization, whatever the heck you want to call it. Um, I deeply appreciate you guys supporting me throughout these last couple of months while I've been doing all of this. Congratulations to the SpaceX team for the successful flight of Flight 12 today and Ship 39 and Booster 19, even though it exploded. It's been Matthew from Matthew the Rocket Nerd and X Aerospace. Peace, you guys.